The 4 basic skills, the 5 teaching styles, all the family meetings, the principles for running an effective family, the family standard. There's all these different things that you have to think about when you're setting up a family government in your home. How long should you do these things? Won't they be draining on the family? What about the children? Are they going to be able to take it? Well, a lot of people have some worries when they hear about all the different things that we do in our home to help teach our children to govern themselves. I'll tell you what, the family standard, once it's written, it just saves you. It's just a piece of paper. And the family meetings, wow, they are so great for relationships and that family vision. And you'll never want to quit them once you get going. So those aren't the hard thing. But what about the 4 basic skills and the 5 teaching styles? Should you always talk to your children that way? Well, those are good principles for communication. And whether a person is working with a boss or a neighbor, they'll want to know how to disagree appropriately. They're skills for life. And to be able to follow instructions in the workplace and accept no answers when they need to from God or from other people, they are skills for life. But there is a difference. When a person gets older, they don't have synthetic consequences. So there's synthetic, which is like an extra chore, and then there's natural, which is like a person won't trust you if you happen to lie to them. So as your children are growing and learning and you're talking to them about the synthetic consequences that you use in your home as part of your family government system, you want to make sure that you also talk to them about the natural consequences. People often ask me, well, what about my older children? I mean, do they just do this forever? Even if they're 20 and they're living in my house, do they always have to have this very same thing, the same way? No. Well, maybe, but mostly no. When the foster youth used to come to my home, I would always explain our system of the 4 basic skills and the 5 teaching styles and all the other things that I've discussed previously. And then I would talk to them about mastering these skills and how I was sure anybody could master these skills. And once the skills were mastered, then they would be able to graduate from the system. And that's a really good word. So all of a sudden they graduate to just natural consequences where people won't trust them, the sink really will stink, and the dishes will wait for them, instead of having a synthetic consequence like an extra chore or something like that. They know that to graduate from using the 5 teaching styles and the synthetic consequences associated with the 4 basic skills, then they need to be able to understand what's right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, and they also need to be able to understand themselves, how they react to situations, and be able to have a certain level of self-control so that they can decide that they can calm down whenever necessary. Also, that they understand cause and effect, and that for all things that they choose, there's always positive and negative consequences associated with all of those choices that they happen to make. And once they have learned all of those things, and they've reached a level where I know that they're not going to test them again later on, then I know that they are ready for graduation. And I would tell my foster children that, and they would look forward to that graduation. My older children are also working toward that right now. They know that there will come a time where, and the thing is that they would be the kind of people that would hardly ever earn a negative consequence anyway, because they've just mastered themselves so much that that's not even an issue for them. So talk to your children about graduation when you think it's necessary, and make sure that they always know what synthetic consequences are and natural consequences, so that they realize that even though right now they're earning an extra chore, always in their lives there will be natural consequences for everything that they do.